Hi. Hold on. Mic's live, right? Sometimes I forget that. Good. Alright, then we need to put out that notification. And then we need to put out... And the Patreon one with... Wait. I need the watch together link. Oh, I didn't finish that part, did I? I don't think I did. Did I not finish that part? Oh, no. Uh-oh. Hold on. Hold on. Slight modification being made here. I'm going to put out that notification. Because then people can show up and watch me struggle. Alright. Okay. So this should be... I have this saved in my, like, personal email or something. Where are we? Where are we? There it is. Just need that link. Perfect. All right. Patron chat. Oh, that's wrong. Should be able to go. Okay, almost done. It's a slow start today. I apologize. It's kind of always a slow start, isn't it? When it's me, there's not much I can do about it. Okay. Import playlist. Shuffle. And go. That work? Why am I hearing nothing? Oh, there we go. Was an odd delay. Can't have this long enough. Okay, there we go. Before YouTube grabs me. It was mere seconds, YouTube. I didn't mean it. Okay, and then what's the link to this thing? Almost there. If anybody's there, okay, you're not there. Good. Good. Nobody's seeing this embarrassment. Skip ahead in the VOD. You know the drill. If you're watching these VODs, you know this already. You've probably already done it. And for that, I'm proud of you. Just turn off webcam. And that's going to be it. Okay. That ought to do it. So I just need that link. Go ahead and drop that in the Discord. Perfect. Okay. I think we're in business. And nobody's here yet, so that's good. How do you light shine? Alright, so I can go ahead and close this. Is there anything else still open? Why is... I don't even have Norton anymore. Leave me. Okay, and the game is open. Yeah, we're not going to do a Unity update right now. Leave me alone. Alright, full screen this. Squash the chat down a little bit. Put that over here. Okay. That ought to do us for now. Everything's all scaled out from the... I was accessing this from my... like, remotely. From my laptop. So everything's all scaled weird. Okay. So, for those in the VOD... there was a scene before this made out of just random assets that I downloaded from the Unity. They have like just an open Unity asset store, and there's tons of free crap there. And I got, these are actually pretty solid assets for being free, that I used to just kind of test out some of the concepts here. Our treasure chest is our actual character. This is going to automatically kick us to the next scene because there's an end point right about here. There it goes. And that jumps us over here. So over here I have swapped it out for blank assets that I've made. Like the blankest blank assets. Just a bunch of, colored squares with a little gradient on them, like a, square gradient going in so that they have some sort of interesting shape about them. Okay. Always need to do my double checks because I have no memory. Alright, yes, good. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to be doing with this, what I have working so far is something that we have you can see block spawner right here, which is actually just a location. It doesn't have a script running on it, or does it? Did I change that? Ah, yeah, that's right. Because I originally had the spawning script on the block, which didn't really make any sense. In fact, I think it might still be on here, just deactivated. No, I guess I got rid of it. But the problem there was there's a function running in the start function, which means it'll run every time it's spawned. And so if it's cloning itself and there's something in the start function, then every time it clones itself, it runs something that should only be running at the start of the scene. So, so it's where it belongs. I don't know why I did it that way in the first place. It didn't make any sense. But up until that point, I had just been using the empty objects as transform positions and not actually putting any scripts on them. Doing that differently has been paying off, obviously. And I mean, I'm looking things up as I go, but I'm also just kind of trial and erroring my way through. So we have the spawner at the top, and then there's a destroyer down at the bottom, down here. Where am I on the screen? Oh, god damn it. I'm really glad nobody's here. Hi, this has been Austin talking about things for a good 10 minutes. Although, to be fair, I only opened up the game 2 minutes ago. Okay. This is where we should be now. Alright. So. Let's try that again. Long story short, purple block has a script on it that makes it run on its own, jump when it gets off the edge of platforms, a few other special goodies that we'll get to as we move along. It will turn if it runs into a block, assuming that block is on the platform layer. It doesn't do that if it runs into anything. Then it'll jump off the other end of that. It might disappear, yeah, because that was lined up for me to test. There is an empty object down at the bottom of the scene that I was talking about a moment ago. Don't go back. I had forgotten to change the screen. If you just came to this point and you're like, talking about it a moment ago, I should go back and check. Don't. There was nothing on the screen, and I'm an idiot. So anyway, empty object down here at the bottom of the screen. I'm assuming you can see now. Good. Okay. Empty object down here. That one destroys these green blocks as they get spawned. There's an empty object at the top that spawns them. I think on I guess it's a 2-second delay right now. That seems a bit fast. Oh, it's not even running. That's right. That's what I'm in the middle of updating. So the spawning script did work, but I wanted to modify it so that it could work with multiple blocks. I had it already working with one. And then I threw up my hands late last night. I remember now. because I had finally managed to get my object destroying script working, which, very good news. But the bad news was that then meant that I needed to move on. Which is, you know, can be bad news. So, in the spirit of moving on, we need to dive into the... It's going to be the spawning script, right? So it's going to be the one attached to here. And we're going to open up Visual Studio. And, okay, there is... Oh, that's right, there isn't anything in the start script of this anymore. I fixed that. Turns out the whole reason... I mean, I'm going to leave it on the empty object. That should be on the empty object. I don't know why I originally had it. I had the spawning script on the object that was being spawned. Very dumb. Doesn't matter. Long story short, that's not the case anymore. So I guess I can get rid of that altogether. But what I need to do, at least for now, we might need it later, but I can always put it back. So all that's happening right now is there's a coroutine happening that creates an instance of what originally just the green block. We're now going to be trying to set it up so that it pulls randomly from a list of blocks. So this field on the screen here has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 game objects it can hold. And so I would line those 5 sample objects up here with, you know, all of the necessary collider, rigid body, and then the drag and drop script, which is what allows it to. It should still work. So this block can be dragged and dropped. It's held onto a grid when you drag it around. The position values are being rounded in order to kind of have some accuracy to the placement so that you can line things up. That red block was not placed with the drag and drop script. I should point that out. If it had been, they would line up. But the drag and drop script makes it obviously so that you can drag and drop, but it also makes it transparent, although it's behind those layers at the moment. You can see here on the corner, it becomes 50% transparent, and then when you let go, locks into place, and that will also turn off the physics. That doesn't really apply here because when we started it was over on the left side. But it will apply because the ones that are being spawned from up here with physics, and the intention is that in order to play you have to grab them as they go by. So it's interesting because this is the stuff that, like, I had been talking about at the very beginning as the idea of how I wanted this to work, and I'm actually, we're getting to the point where I need to kind of rough out the interface so that I can make something testable, which is pretty neat. So let me check one more thing. Don't worry, I won't forget to switch the talk screen back this time. I just need to go into my... Okay, that's good. Good, good, good. And this looks good also. Awesome. Alright. Very, very nice. Okay. Going back. All right. So we're most of the way there. I have the I have all of the fields for all of the blocks. I have the established variable for what will eventually become the object that gets instantiated. I have random being pulled in. It's a bit backward because what I now need to learn how to do is make a list. Which I guess actually does need to be... Oh, wow. Okay. So this does need to be in the start function. So we need it to create a list, and I don't actually know how to do that. So we're going to learn. Create a list of objects. There we go. Can store any data type. Okay, so that's good. Hopefully this isn't going to be very complicated. I'm also going to need to look up random selection from a list. Not Python. It's been a long time. I can't believe that's still in there. So, oh, this tells me how to make the list too. Okay, good. That makes sense, doesn't it? If it would be a sample script, they would need to include that. Oh! I see the mistake I was making yesterday while I was tired. Okay, so yesterday I was trying to create this, and for some reason I thought it was asking me to put the name there, not the type of data in the string or in the list. Okay. So then I think we can just say we can say, just for clarity, we'll call it block list equals new list. And then we want these dealies, and we want to say game object. Okay. And then we want curly braces. Okay. Yes? Is that not going to get used if it's not inside there? I feel like it's not. Well, I guess we can see, right? Will it... Is that... If you just call a variable within a function like that, I want to say it's trapped there. Meaning, like, I can't use that variable down here in the coroutine. Ah, no, that's the link for the music for today. Okay, so we want that. Well, actually, let's just type it and see if it feeds me. Yeah, so that seems like a big nope. Okay, but I should be okay if I can establish the list up here, right? I can say I can't call it as a variable, like generalized variable up there, can I? But can I say private list of... Yeah, I can say private list of game objects. And then we call it... What did I call it? Block list. Block list. Oh, but that one should be... That should be down there. And then I guess just for clarity's sake, I should probably do that. I don't even know if this is proper syntax. I'll be told at some point. I mean, it's not giving me a syntax error, but that still doesn't mean I'm wrong or not wrong. It could still go horribly off the rails. So, you know, hopefully that doesn't happen. Okay, so that means I don't need this here, but I am going to need to do something here. I feel like on start, it should append all of those, right? I suspect there's probably a way for... Can I serialize the list? Let's just see what happens. I'm just going to save this and hop over and see if it even accepts what I've written. Can only use an array initializer... Oh. Oh, okay, so I can't just say that. Or maybe I don't have to say anything? I think if I did, though, I'd have to say new list. Yeah, that's what it wants me to do. Yep, that cleared that up. Okay. So that clears that. Does that mean it's over here? Oh, we need to be on the block spawner. I don't see... Oh, I haven't serialized it yet. Okay, so just as a test, we're going to copy that. And, nope. Paste that there. See what happens if we serialize that. Does it have a way to handle it? It does. Oh. Not in a way that's useful. Hey, how's it going, Jakob? Happy to be your laundry background. I'm just working on... I've made some progress on this 2D game here, and I've ditched the generic assets I found for some even more generic assets I made. So you enjoy your laundry. I'm just trying to... So I guess I can't have the list... We'll just do it with the 5 separate game objects for now. And then if there's a better way to have it... what I'm thinking is I might be able to have an area that has that's just occupied, like attached to an empty object, a collider box, and then just have it say add every object within this collider box to the list of spawnable objects. That might be a way to make that happen. And then that would make it a super versatile script, rather than having to make something that, like, is customizable and upgradable and all that crap. I think that's going to be a better way to go about it. But, for testing purposes, this is what we're going to do. I am glad that the movement script has gotten so much cleaner. I went through and tidied up a lot of the gobbledygook I had in there. Bye-bye. Disappear. But the spawner isn't doing much of anything until I... Oh, and it's not even verifying any of this because it's not... No, it should be trying to run. Because hold defaults to false, so it should at least try and run it once. And it's not throwing up any flags at me for an empty variable that has no semicolon next to it. Maybe it's just skipping the coroutine altogether because it can't run. That could be. Like it would throw up a flag if it was... that could be. Or is it just running... Maybe it could just run the previous version of that? That seems unlikely also. Anyway. Alright, so this is not serialized for the time being. It's not how we're going to do that. On start, I'm going to have it append the blocks to the list one by one. Which should be similar to a different statement I've done before. I need to make a for loop. Let me see. So if we go to the block spawner, yeah, that is called block list. Okay, so that's accepting my variable. It's not being made blue. I have a feeling that's because the type of object that I put, the type of object that I defined for the list is not recognized by Visual Studio. I'm sure there's probably an add-on I could put into Visual Studio so that it recognizes the Unity stuff. But I just haven't bothered to do that. If the code works, then I know that it worked, you know? Why fix what ain't broke? So, what I think I want to do, I'm gonna pull up the other script because I have a for loop written out that I already know how to do in my auto run script because that's where it's checking for collisions. Okay, here we go. Yeah, this is the statement that I want. Okay, that'll iterate through one at a time, starting from 0. Oh, wait, I need a control tab. Come on. Gosh, I control tabbed. Work with me. Oh, seems like I may have pressed Alt. That explains a lot. Okay, so we want that statement. And we're not doing G colliders, we're doing block list dot length. Okay, and then the way that's going to work is to assign or to address the specific one we're using, or like which number we're on. I think I'm doing block list dot, oh no, I'm sorry, block list brackets I dot, it's gonna be game object? Is that what it's gonna be? Okay, so I think this is going to work, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to type this out and then have a debug line to tell me if the list is correct or not. At least show us the list quantity. So we want to say we need to append to a list. Create a list, blah, blah, blah. How to add items to a C# list. Oh, just dot add? Nice. That's super clean. I like C#. Well, as compared to Python, which I know is more comfortable in terms of, like, natural language, but that seems to just make it muddy for me. Let me see. So all I should have to do is say oh, nope. I framed this up wrong. It can't be iterating down this list in order to do that. It's iterating down these. So I think for the time being, this is actually a lot less complicated than what I was doing. So instead what we want to just do is say block list dot add block 1. Okay, and then we're just gonna 2, 3, 4, 5. And then at the end of this, just to make sure it's working, we're gonna say Unity engine dot debug dot log it should tell us the length, which should be 5. Let's hope that works. Let's hope it's accepted in the first place. Oh, good, it wasn't. Let's see what I did. Not contain a definition for length. Oh, well, that's because it should be capitalized. Oh, evidently not. I can't get the length of a list? Okay. Well, let's just see what it spits out for us. That seems like a thing I should be able to do. Or do I have to... Did I need parentheses at the end of that? Is that the problem? Let's try that. No. Okay. Not that. Are you okay with that? Alright, it's fine with that. It can tell me what the block list is. I would like to mute some of these. I have too many of these on right now. I just want to mute all of the debug lines in a single script. I'm sure there is a way to do that, but I wish I knew what it was. Okay, so let's try and run this. And for now, it should be just creating that list and defining that list to us at the beginning. And so far, that list should be 1 long. So I'm going to click on the block spawner, and we're going to drag the green platform over as object 1. And then when I press play, one of these should be the number 1. Like, it should have happened on start. But I stupidly didn't name it, and I have too many of these. It's definitely not that 10. Or the minus 10. Okay, you know what? I'm going into some other scripts and shutting them up. Yeah, and the biggest problem child here is going to be auto runs. So let's Unity engine dot debug. Okay, let's just silence all of these guys. You are not needed. Thank you. Alright, that should quiet all those down. And then let's run again to see what else is making noise. Oh, 2 of these are actual problems because of, well, the object you want to instantiate is null. That's the exception being thrown up because of the fact that the script we're running is incomplete. That's because of this. The spawn object equals nothing. That is being caught, which is good because I was wondering what the hell was going on there. That means I'm slightly less crazy than we initially thought. Overlaps 0 and 1 is the destroy block talking to us. So let's kill that. Who's talking? Unity engine debug. That needs to go away. Okay. And we run that, and now that's all quiet. And so there is my list. So if we go block spawner, so let's just for the sake of argument, even though it's not the right kind of object, it shouldn't technically matter, because all this is looking for is a game object that I've put there. So let's say red platform is okay. We'll drop that in there. Will it now say 2? No. No, it will not. Well, I'm going to go pee really quick, and then we're going to figure that out. There, I'll leave him in there. Alrighty, so I think the issue here is actually that I'm not calling, like I'm not, it's telling me that it's a list. Like I don't think this necessarily means the script isn't working. I think it means I actually screwed up my debug line. Okay. I know this is super boring, but if you don't know much about coding, it's not. That's not for your benefit, by the way, Jakob. I know you're in the middle of something. It's just for those watching the VOD. Like, why does this exist? apparently need to do excuse me. I think what I need to do is well, I need to look up how to display the contents of a list. Enumerable. Okay. So that's how it's being created. Oh. Alright, well let's see if that works. It means they'll all be separate debug statements. But I think I can work with that. So this should say... Oh, I could do a string.join. That would give me more the look I was looking for. I like that better. So why don't we say this? We'll make that the content of that spot, the debug line. And then we need to change out their value for block list. And then I think I can add to that by just doing that, so that it can have a nice clean start. Let's see if that shows up in the console nicely. Name string does not exist in the current context. Good, good. What did I read wrong? Should it be lowercase? I mean, people have typos in their shared script all the time. Yes, it should be lowercase. Alright, let's see what it does this time. Red platform, null, wait, green platform, red platform, null, null, null. That's something. And then I think I'm just going to swap these out and just say because I think you can do inline if statements in C#, right? I don't know why you wouldn't be able to. Because what would I want here? If block 1, let's say if block 1 does not equal null, right? Then do the thing. How's that? How do you like them apples? Do I still have to... Should there be that there? Is that what I should do? I think that's the proper syntax. There. So then, as long as it's not null, it'll add 2, 3, 4. And then we can say block 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, this is still a pretty clunky way to do it, but I am still learning, and that's the whole point of this project. So, okay. So now the nulls should be skipped. That's my thinking. And sure enough, they were. Okay. We're in business here. Okay, so then I want to go to the block spawner, and we're just going to remove both of these for the time being. I need to bring in... We're basically just going to... I'm going to clone this a few times and just swap out the color just to see if I can get a randomizer script working. So we need 5 of these. We are going to rename this drag platform G, and then we will duplicate it and swap out the sprites in order to have variety, but not have to worry about do it, because there are several things already programmed on this that I don't really want to have to worry about. I'm pretty sure all of these associations will move along with, but they might not. This might be an exercise in futility. We'll see. So I want to take that and Shift D, or is it Control D? So we only need 5 of them. Aha! It looks like the connections are updating. So that's awesome. Alright, so we've got all of those. And then we can rename all of these. Well, I should actually... Let's swap out the colors first. So we go into the project and... Oh, the blue one's not going to show up very well, but that's okay. So we want Sprite Renderer open. And then drop that bad boy in there. And a purple there. A red here. And a yellow here. Okay. And then we can... Oh, I don't need to focus. Then we can rename this. We want this to be blue. This is purple. This is going to be red, and then the last one's going to be yellow. Perfect. Okay. So there are all of those. And let's connect all of those up to the block spawner just to be sure. So we want to go block spawner. We want platform G, then B, then P, R, and Y. There we go. So it should have a list of 5 when I press go. And let me see, we have G, B, P, R, Y. Wait, aren't we showing? No, G, B, P, R, Y. Why did I think there were 6 for some reason? Okay, cool. G, B, P, R, Y. Good to go. So that means it's recognizing all of them. That's a good thing. And those are all doing what they're supposed to do, which is good. Because if their physics were wrong, they're set to start awake. So if all of their scripts hadn't moved over correctly, they should be falling. But that's what start awake means, is it starts with the physics acting rather than waiting until something happens to it before that starts. So with it starting awake, there's a line of code on it that's immediately putting it to sleep on the first frame so that it doesn't fall anywhere. And then when it gets spawned over here, it's starting fresh and nothing is setting it to static, I don't think. Unless I was dumb enough to put that back on the script. Let's take a look at auto run. Or no, it would be in drag and drop. Yeah, that ain't gonna work. That ain't gonna work. That can't be there. So yeah, this line does actually need to be in the other code. So we're gonna... There's not really any point in cutting it, but we want to go back to... Well, first of all, let's save this as it is. And we want to go back to the object spawner. And we want it here. Well, theoretically, it could sleep them all on the first frame if I just say... we want that. Okay. And so then when it spawns, we're going to include this for loop that will go through or no, it didn't like length as an answer to that, huh? I remember that. That was the problem before. Okay, so we won't do it that way. That's a different thing I need to figure out, and we'll do that when I get there. So we are instead just going to do block 1. Oh, but it's the rigid bodies. God, that's annoying. It'd be much better for that line to be in the script that's attached to the object. But there's no way to do that. Unless, is there one that that will only run at the start of a... There has to be. Run... Unity run... function at scene... Yeah. Scene load. There we go. Event when the scene is loaded. Okay, so I would assume we're 5.4 or above. No, 4.3. But that's from 2017. Not really sure. I have Scene Manager, so I'm going to assume that's probably what it was. Yeah, that's not what I want, though. Huh. This is interesting. Yeah. I think that's a long way around to solve something that I can solve a different way. Because if we go back to the spawner script, maybe I could start them asleep and then have it put the... have it put the instantiated object. But then how does it address the rigid body? Or how does it reference the rigid body from that? Not any better than I would have to from here. So many connections. Seems excessive. Like, to the point where I would think there has to be a better way to do that, but... what would that be? Yeah, because that's why I used to have this script. I remember now, I had this script grabbing the rigid body and the game object, and I couldn't remember why. Well, I know that this is supposed to be like that. But then how do I ensure that the thing that's spawned is immediately set to... Are there other ways to reference... Can I just say GameObject.RigidBody? Will it understand that? Get component. That's what I need to do. That's what I need to do. GameObject.getComponent. Okay, so then I want to say spawn object dot get component. Oh, capitalized. GameObject.getComponent, and then we want rigid body to, god damn it, 2D. Okay, and then I would say, oh, we need that also. Dot wake up, right? Is that right? There's no way that's right. Yeah, there we go. Okay, it didn't throw up a flag where I thought. Is next supposed to be lowercase? Okay, well that's not where I thought the hiccup was going to be. I thought we figured out the whole random thing. Random next list dot count. Am I missing a directive or an assembly reference? Shouldn't be. Oh, I absolutely am. No, I'm not. System.collections is where random is located. Alright, let's look at what I'm doing wrong here. First of all, I don't need that debug anymore. It didn't throw flags up at... Oh, but this is inside the coroutine. We've experienced before that might mean... The object you want to instantiate is null. Oh, because still the random line didn't work. Got it. Oh! Got it. Got it. So what I need to do is... It needs to be defined as an object, right? Game object spawn object equals random.next. And then we say blocklist.count. Well, it likes the dot count at least. Random does not contain a definition for next. You sure about that, Pumpkin? To the internet. What's it telling me? Random does not contain a definition for next. Do I have to use Unity engine.random? I have to define it as system. It's trying to use Unity random. So here, we need to say system.random. How do you like them apples? Cannot implicitly convert type int to Unity game object. Where am I trying to do that? Oh. No, spawn object shouldn't be an integer. I need to read everything. I understand what's going on now. If you see what's going on the screen and you're angry at me, I understand. I get it. I get it. The data has been downloaded. Okay, so theoretically, yeah, so we want to say spawn index is that, and then we say spawn object equals that equals block list spawn index. I hope that worked. How do you like them apples, Unity? It's not throwing up errors anymore. I'm going to go ahead and drop a start point in here too so that I can finally see that last octagon go away. I'd like it to happen all at the same time. So create empty, we'll call it start point, and we will move it to here. And then we need to get to your script and drop into auto run, and it is begging me for this. Start point. There you go. Okay, so now, I guess it'll zoom out anyway. Now, hopefully, it's going to start spawning in random blocks. Well, it's spawning in random blocks, but they've all started to fall. It's always something. Oh, okay. So these need to all be set to asleep now. That's what's wrong. So we want to open up the rigid body, set them to start asleep. Every single one of these needs to start asleep because we have a line in the code that is waking them up, theoretically. And if that's all working at once, we can be very happy campers. Oh, I missed one. No, you're not touching anything. Why did you start falling? Well, the new circus begins. That's very interesting. The good news is the randomizer seems to be working. Like, this is... It's funny, because it's huge progress, but then that always just reveals the next problem. Okay. That's fine. That's fine. So these are all starting asleep. Start asleep, start asleep, start asleep, start asleep, start asleep. So those are all correct. Collision detection. That should be fine. Show how much you mean to me. Yeah, so it seems like whenever one gets spawned, red got spawned, yeah. So the act of it trying to wake up the child, like the clone, is causing it to wake up the original as well. And just as a theory, I'd like to duplicate the purple one, let's say, and then we'll see. Yeah, so yellow fell there, red fell, that was another red, purple. So it's only the one it gets cloned from. Interesting. Very interesting. I don't know what that means. It means I need to get rid of that. So waking them up that way doesn't seem to work. So I have a different plan. And we are instead going to... Here's my idea. We'll go down this list first and freeze them. Oh, hello. Well, I have my randomizer working, spawning 5 different colors of blocks. However, it's making the physics do weird things. So there's that now.
How was the little fuzzball?
She's good.
Yeah? Good? Not driving her too crazy?
Yeah, she was a pretty good girl today. And she's gradually getting less uppity.
Oh yeah? A little less sass.
We're making progress.
Hopefully that transfers to me.
I think it will.
We'll see.
It'll probably take a little more time. I mean, because I'm here, you know, all day.
She does... Like I said, she's worse when it's both of us here and I'm trying to tell her to do something.
Yeah.
She's like, no,
well, I mean, that's the same for me, too, though. I mean, she's not as obedient with me when you're here, either. It's just because...
You're just looking for another body to back you up.
When we're both here, she thinks somebody might back her up.
Well, no, we back each other up.
Sorry. Tough break, kid. Alright, so I need something else that will... I'm going to go back to the original plan of putting all of these to sleep on the first frame. I'm so close to this working the way I imagined. And then I can start, like... I'll have the basics of the functional, like, you know, blocks fall, you can drag and place them. Like, I'm so close. As soon as I get this, the physics thing figured out, where everything's being woken up. So we don't want to do this, because that seems to... The get component seems to be grabbing the original rigid body. We can check that. So when it spawns one...
That's not yours.
Oh, it just deleted a whole bunch of them. Oh, it's only... Is it going to drop a yellow? It seems like as they're falling... Oh no, there's a yellow. That's disturbing. So those are just like falling forever. It's kind of working. I just need these to stay in place. That's all. Oh. Okay, I have a theory. this is directly hitting the original one because it's instantiating spawn object and we're talking to spawn object. So let's turn that off for a second because I think the only reason the ones that are dropping are getting physics is because they're hitting each other. I'm right. Okay, I got this. So that means it needs to be instantiated as something. So we have spawn object, and then we're also going to have we're gonna have spawn object and spawned without the word object. So I don't know if we can do the implicit variable here. It always seems to bite me in the ass when I try. I think I understand how that works, and then I find out that I don't. No, she is not. So we're gonna say game object spawned in equals instantiate spawn object blah 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 blah. And then here, well, let's see if that works first of all. Will it spawn that way? Is it still spawning with that being the way the code works? Yes. Alright, so now we have a way to grab that. Before it was just instantiating them and there wasn't anything in the code that let me get my grabbers on it. So now we can address that directly by saying spawned. So spawned.getComponentRigidBody2D.wakeUp. So we'll wake up the rigid body on the spawned object, not on the object it was cloned from. And that should do what I wanted.
I can't even really smell that. I went ahead and closed it.
Oh yeah, go ahead and close it. I left it open because I've been here so long I don't know if you can smell it anymore.
No,
Yeah, I mean I put the purifier in here and everything. This is like the hummiest stream I've done in a while. But they look like they're coming along nicely. Those are your mirrors over there. Jakob, if you're still with us. You don't need to answer, it's just letting you know. It's in progress. Finishing up, actually. Getting pretty close. Okay. So we've saved this. And it's still okay with the code. Show me immediate falling. Yes, dude! Yes! And they're disappearing when they hit the bottom? Yeah, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Oh my god. Alright, so this is huge. I've been building toward this moment for a while. So these objects can be grabbed in place and put somewhere without interrupting anything. Right? They're functional platforms, and they share a grid so that you can line them up perfectly with one another. I can't believe this is happening right now. Yes! Dude! Oh my god. That's pretty cool, man. That's pretty cool. Okay. So then I need some sort of screen to put here so that you don't click anything behind there. I might move the dropper to the right side. I thought since most people were right-handed, that might be the left side might be the better spot to put it, because then your left hand is the one that's holding the phone, and then you drag from there. Hey, Rose! Deciding to go for food now or after I end. I am on until 6, so that's going to be an hour and a half still. So whatever you guys want to do. Emily, look. I need you to look. This is huge. So they're dropping and being deleted. They're being randomized. It's pulling from this list, and I can drag them into the scene and place them, and they line and they snap onto the grid.
Oh my god!
Like, this is huge.
That's really cool.
Yeah. So we're.
Are randomized too?
Yeah, the randomizer's working. I've had a very successful hour and a half.
Jeez. Seriously.
Yeah, if you guys are hungry now, then you should go now. I'll be on for another hour or 40 minutes. Oh yeah, for sure. I'm being requested. Please stand by. Yeah, and this can run on a loop without breaking anything, man. Oh my god. Thanks, Rose. See you later. Moving on from here, the next objective is to start kind of figuring out how this lays out, and then it'll be the issue of making the camera move, quote unquote, which is going to be interesting because I think what I'm going to do is not have the camera move. I think I'm going to have all the blocks move, and it'll be the illusion of movement. Maybe. Possibly. Not sure. It might not be a good idea. Oh, I'm so thrilled about these randomizing blocks. Well, and right now they don't do anything, but they'll be... I mean, the moving on from there is to make them into different pieces. Man, well, I already know there's some of my script I can clean up because I just learned how to grab any element of a particular game object without having to reference that element specifically at the top of the code. That's huge. That makes a really big difference. Wow. Okay. That's pretty exciting. Alright, so the next thing that I want is I want to change some layering here. So I'm going to pull in a new platform, or we're gonna go with the yellow platform, and I'm just gonna kind of put it up in the corner here, and then drag it out to fill the area where that stuff drops down. Is that in front or behind? It is in front. So, sorting layer, visually, that's fine. But we do want to... I want to bring the opacity down. Oh yeah, done. Alpha, right here. So we're going to put this down to... It maxes at 255, right? So we're going to bring it down to... What is... A half of that is going to be 122, basically. Okay, let's make it 150. That looks a little better. That way, if there were objects... What the hell layer are these on? That's not good. Okay, I'm actually going to get rid of all of these, because these were tester blocks anyway, and now we're able to really drag blocks in, so why not? This is starting to look like a game. I'm already, I mean, graphically, I'm already in cheap iPhone app territory. I think that's 100% decided. So we have 3 red platforms, and I would like to kill them all. Goodbye. And start point, I would like to move up here with my other empties. I'm pretty sure instantiating doesn't keep the parents, so theoretically we could move. Like, I could parent the background, and then all of those markers and my tester blocks on the left. I can parent all of that to the camera, and then if the camera did move, all that stuff would still be spawning with us. Basically what I want is while these spawn... They're already not interacting with anything. I think. Let's test that. Oh, wait, but they need to be... Okay. One thing at a time. So the first thing that I want to happen is when they drop, they should be on the visual layer that's in front. So there are, like, layers. I really think there should be a different word for it, but they already have tags for a different thing. So they have general layers of objects, and then there's also the sorting layer in the renderer, which is where it appears visually.
I found out where she's been getting everything from.
Oh, you did?
Yep. There's one little spot on the track, at the end of the track.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, so I want these, I think, to start on the foreground layer. Do you need me to get some down for you? Yeah, no problem. And then what I'm going to do is I'll go through the spawner code, and the same place we have it being woken up. No, in drag and drop. So when it's first picked up, we'll have it snap back to the platform layer visually. There you go.
Yeah, I'm just gonna get rid of that. Just gonna get rid of it. Especially because it's got one.
Sure.
And I threw away the finally.
Thank you for taking care of the track.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, it's not gonna do anything else.
Lola.
That's where she knows where to go. Too.
That's where she's finding all of those rocks and crap.
She's been going.
I see. Well,
down this little treasure trove.
it sure explains it, at least.
Yeah.
Alright, so we want the drag and drop script. And then when it's picked up, we already have the rigid body being referenced. So this is going to be... we have them defaulting to kinematic now, right? Where's the rigid body? No, they default to dynamic. Oh, but that's why they fall. That's right. But everything is set to freeze on drop. I don't think any of them... I don't know why I would want it to not freeze it when you drop it. It just seems like that wouldn't be very useful to the game. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that. I could always put it back. So we're going to get rid of all of that. Put that there. Okay. Oh, and we even have the renderer. Okay, so renderer dot... what would that be? Sorting layer? Unity API, change sorting layer. Okay, yeah. As expected. So we are going to want to set the sorting layer. It's okay, Lola. We are setting the sorting layer to platform. Come here. No, you okay there? All right. Nope, I don't need a plus there. Oh, it threw up something. What's wrong? Sprite renderer does not contain a definition for sorting layer. Oh, I guess I should have checked to see. Renderer sorting order.
You know why we didn't clean?
What?
If the screen door is completely open, it's trapped and not accessible. If the screen door's open, that part's accessible.
I see.
That's
That
why we
makes
never
sense.
cleaned it.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. So we're going to try with the lowercase s. No. Okay, so sorting layer name. Is that what it is? That seems super weird. Sorting layer name it is. Okay, so we're going to grab this first one, and it should change to platform, and it did. Which means it's behind that now. That's so cool! Alright, it's working. So, objects spawn, they fall in front of the screen, then I grab it, it immediately goes behind the screen, and it is in the game world. Oh, I can still rotate things? I thought I turned that off. Okay, that's not supposed to be a thing. That's pretty neat. So, I have the first little bit of UI working now, Emily.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Right on.
They fall in front of a screen, and then when you pick them up, they move into the, like, usable space. I don't know what this gesture means.
Do you think it's okay if I use Lysol to spray inside the trash can?
The trash can she's not supposed to be in?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure. I don't know. Just a small, delicate thing.
Yeah.
It keeps eating rocks.
Yeah, she's not that delicate. I mean, don't spray her with Lysol. Well, you can't beg for the cleaning stuff in the cabinet. That's not something you can
I'm
have.
not going to let you play with Tide Pods. We're
Yeah.
not irresponsible parents.
Exactly.
We're irresponsible pet owners.
So are those falling down? Yeah, exactly. Are those falling down? They're not centered. That's horrendous. So I want to take the start point, no, the block spawner and the destroyer, and we want to move them over, I don't know, 28, 29, 28. 28 seems good. Okay. So then those blocks fall through the screen. This is pretty neat. Now, and those are being recognized as platform layers, right? Like if I have a start platform, like if I have this right here, that should give me enough time to try and like catch it. Oh, right, the start point's over here. Where's that? Okay. So right there. Oh, you don't have physics. Static. There we go. Or wait, does kinematic work? Because kinematic should mean you don't fall also, right? Yes. Okay. So here's what I want to see. I want to see if it's possible to... Are these drag and droppable after I start? They are, okay. Where's the start point? It must be just outside of that. God damn it. Alright, well let's fix that. Slide that over into there. So then this should be trapped now, right? Okay. And then if I take something like this and place it, it will land on that. Oh, well, not if I do that. Damn it. Idiot. Alright. So the ones we pull into the world should be like real blocks, you know, that it can play off of. Yes! It's working so well! What's gonna go wrong? Hi, Lola! Come say hello! Ooh! Woo. Yes. Yes. You're a mad scientist, Lola. I know this is like super small time, but I'm pretty excited about it. I mean, I figured it all out for myself. I think that's something to be excited about. Now, the question is, do I want to increase the grid scale? I could do that, theoretically. The grid is happening in the drag and drop. Like, it's just rounding the position values when you drag it around. Can I round to, like, tens rather than... Because right now it's obviously just shaving off all the decimals. I could also zoom in. I don't know if that's a good or a bad idea, though. But yeah, theoretically, like, if I put this here... Will it wall jump off of that purple block? Dude!
Hey, ow.
That is so cool! Oh my god. I'm so excited that this is actually working. I was convinced that I wasn't crazy for a substantially long period of time and that I was going to be able to figure this out. And now we have success. I'm pretty excited just with this little toy. Alright, so those are being put on the correct layer after you pick them up. That part's working just fine, so what's next? Before we're doing different kinds of pieces. Because when we start going to different kinds of pieces, I'm not going to do that until I've actually figured out what the what change I need to make to the code in order to spawn those guys in. Like, in order to construct the list better, rather than having to manually drag over all of the spawnable blocks. I would much rather be able to just drop them in a region and not have any problems. That would be better.
No. Yeah.
So we're not going to do that part right now. Instead, what I want to figure out is I kind of want to do something a little bit fun. When they spawn, I want to give them just a small amount of rotational velocity. I just think it'll look neat. Oh wait, no! Rotation, that's right. I need to turn off the ability to rotate the pieces. Or at least... Because where are we? If dragging... Yeah, rotate by the mouse scroll delta times 5. So instead of doing that, what's times 5 doing for us? It's a pretty fluid rotation, right? Yeah. So let's up the ante. How about times 10? That's getting better. Times 100. That's a huge step up. That's probably too much. It's not at all too much. It's not?
No.
Seems wrong.
No.
Okay, we're just gonna add a 0 to that because there's no way. Maybe it's going all the way around.
No. Nice.
Hmm.
Can't drop the ball and then bite down.
So what do we do to... What do we do to change that? We want to rotate it. We want to rotate it by a set amount. Huh. Okay, here's what I want you to do. I want you to bark the rotation at me. This dot transform dot rotation. I'm pretty sure rotation is lowercase. I thought you could do that. Oh. Oh, nice. Forgot my semicolon. Classy. Transform rotation cannot be used like a method. Okay. What if I string dot it? Huh? Huh? What about a string dot? Oh, that's not promising. Nope. String parentheses? Huh? Maybe? No? I shouldn't just guess things, should I? I want it to tell me what the rotation is. Because what I'd like to do is put something here that's just iterating that. Okay. No, not in the editor. Come on now. Mathf dot round to integer. Okay, I'm going to play with this. Because this could be a better way to do my grid such that I could move things around on a grid also. Okay. It should only be Z. It should only be Z. Rotation.z. Will it let me do that at least? Okay. And then, are you telling me the rotation? Oh, yes, it is. Okay, that's something. Got some information. Interesting. So is the rotation value just anywhere from 0 to 1? Because that's what it seems like. That's really what it seems like. Or anywhere, rather, from -1 to 1. What are you doing over there? Well, that's annoying. Because then we can't snap it to... Well, I'm still thinking, do I want pieces to be rotatable? I really don't think the answer is yes. I really don't think the answer is yes. So what I'm instead going to do is I'm going to say... Wait, we're going to leave that like that so that I can make sure the line works the way I think it does. And we're going to say when it drops, I want it to snap to this dot transform dot rotation dot z equals 0. That should do the trick for me. That's my suspicion. So I can run the code like this. Can't oh, that's right, you can't modify rotations. Okay. Set rotation. Euler angles. Is this what I needed? This is what I needed, I think. I'm getting distracted by this because I'm interested in whether or not I'd be able to set the rotations like that, but I... Yeah, we don't want to do that either. Okay, let's try Unity rotate to 0. Oh, cool. I can just go, I can set it to a blank quaternion, you know, I don't know how to pronounce that. So I should be able to just ditch the .z and say quaternion dot identity. That should work. And I've used a dot identity before. So let's see if it liked that. It did.
Hey.
So if I press play, what should happen is I can pull this and rotate it, and then when I let go, it snaps back to straight. Okay, so that's good. This all for just a fun thing, because I decided for gameplay reasons, I don't want you to be able to rotate the pieces. There will be slopes and stuff like that. I think having them rotate just, it won't go together in a way that looks nice. And it's supposed to be kind of like a chill game, so I want the visual on the screen to be nice looking. These are placeholder assets. It's not going to be this, you know, Simon Says-y looking. So all this is so that I want to be able to give it a small amount of rotational momentum, or rotational velocity when it spawns. And I think I might randomize that rotational velocity just a little bit, so that they're all falling down as just like fun spinning pieces. And then when you grab it, it'll snap to its useful position. I want it to look a little more alive. So that's what we're going to try and do.
Down. No. Down.
So the way this should work is okay. So we don't need that. That worked as it was supposed to. And then this line actually needs to be. What's she doing? Lola.
Sit. Sit.
Okay, and then if dragging, we'll do that. So it'll set it to a vertical every time it gets picked up, or rather when it first gets picked up, because beyond then it won't rotate anymore. But what we want to do in the spawner script is when the block gets spawned, we'll say spawned.getComponent, and this time we want the rigid body again, right? Yeah. And then what we want to do with it... Lola! Hush! What we want to do with it is... we want to give it a little kick. So... can I do a rotational force? Or... rigid body angular velocity. Okay, and then random value from range, C#. So we'll bring in a random, and then we'll have it choose a random value, probably between 1 and -1. I'm going to experiment with some values first, just to see what the rotations look like. And then it'll randomize a value between whatever and negative whatever, and it'll give that rotation to the block as it's falling, just so that there's a slight bit, so that they don't look like they're falling perfectly down like a machine. And then I'll kind of, you know, jostle them a little bit also. I think that's the plan. Destroy block is a it's square. It's an overlap box again, right? Okay. Oh, we're gonna make that wider. That way we can be sure. Okay, and then that means it's the, so it's going to be the spawner script that gives them that rotation with angular velocity. So we're going to say rigid body dot angular velocity equals let's just do this. There we go. We have an empty float to serve as our test value, and then this is just going to equal test. Okay. And then it shouldn't be mad at me for that. Good, it's not. And then we want to go to the spawner script and let's just give it an angular velocity of 1 and see how that works. Oh, would you look at that? It does have a slight rotation to it. No shit. Okay, well that worked pretty well. So what if we... Well, first of all, one more thing. We're gonna spread out this gap. Oh, delay is manageable also. Okay, so let's bump the delay up to 5 seconds. Just so we can get a better look at this. So they are totally rotating, but what if we said 2? Or how about like 10? What does 10 look like? That's kind of the speed I was looking for. Maybe just a bit more. Say, like, because we're talking what would the max speed be. So let's say 20 as the max rotation speed. And so then, theoretically, these are falling, right? And then I pick it up and it should snap into the right position, which it totally, absolutely does. I'm getting this figured out, people. This is making me more confident about Everbound, which was the whole point of this. That's why we did this. So, the first tests of Everbound, I know I'm getting ahead of myself. Don't worry, I'm finishing this first, because I'm happy with what I'm getting from it. But the whole first test of Everbound is going to be trying to make some simulations that run on their own in 3D space. Simulations that run on their own is a little redundant, and I'm aware of that, but I can't help who I am. Okay. So they are being given rotation. And basically, I want to say... Okay, so if we go into this spawner, and we already have a random, So why don't we just use it again? So we're going to temporarily remove our test value and say it's instead going to equal let's get this right. Random dot next between the range of -20 and 20. Yeah.
That's good.
All good?
Oh, yes.
Hooray!
Hey! You did a good job.
Alright, so what we're going to do is say random dot, it's going to be dot next, and then we're actually going to put a range in from -20 to 20. How do you like them apples?
No, you're right.
Don't be mad at me. Okay, not mad at me. Now, when I press play, it should be randomizing the rotation.
No.
Doesn't seem like it is. Oh, yeah, it is. Okay. Yes, it definitely is. So let's set the gap down to 3 seconds so that it's a little faster. Then we can see that these fall through with different rotations. Okay, we need to move the destroyer down a little bit. And I don't think we actually do need to do that technically. What I need to do is go in and make it skinnier. So I think if I just set that to 1, it'll pretty much get them just as they cross that line. Those are just the dimensions of the box that will trigger the script that makes the block disappear. It looks like we're getting completely off the screen before we disappear. But I feel like I could be a little more cautious about that. So let's bring this down. Let's say -35 just to be safe. And then we will scale up the camera just so that I can see the whole operation. And I just want to make sure that blocks aren't slipping through the cracks somehow. And then again, if I grab one, it snaps to straight and ends up on the grid. That's so cool. Right on. I'm pretty pleased with that. I do kind of think that I want them to start with some velocity, because I want the gap between them to be smaller, but I also want them to appear like I don't want them to stack on each other as they were starting to do. So we can solve that by starting them with some velocity.
Get down. Down. Now.
Lola.
Lola. Get down.
Yeah. So, that's fine. Lola!
No.
Puppy!
Hush.
Hush! Thank you. Good hush. Good girl. We need to start doing that, by the way. Good girling when she actually quiets down. Yep. She's awfully keen, and that seems to make a difference. All right, so oh, that's right. I wanted to supply a force. So let's take a look at how we are adding forces to the player character. I'm just directly set it used anywhere else. What is that variable for? That's not doing anything anymore. We're just gonna get that out of there. And the associated definition. Anyway, in other places we are doing it, yeah, by adding a force. And that's kind of what I want to do. I could just do downward velocity though. Let's try it. Let's do it the easy way and see if it looks okay. So object spawn needs to have one more of these that says okay. Lola, what are you doing? What are you doing? Huh? What was that?
It's a ball.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so we just want to do I have to capitalize velocity? No. Rigid body dot velocity dot y equals, I don't know, 10? Why don't we do another test variable again? Okay. So we'll go back up here and reactivate the test variable. Then we go back over here. Should have our test variable back for the spawner. We don't. Cannot modify velocity because it is not a variable. Okay, how about add force then? I'm just going to drop this in here. And boom, new vector 2, 0. And then we're just going to set this to test. So that means it'll add a downward force. Oh man, it's not capitalized. It's like, what the hell's wrong now? If that doesn't work, I'll be upset. That should be fine. Okay, good. So now it should be adding a downward force as of right now, of 0 to every block that's placed. Okay, and then if I just said 10, yeah, so that's a little bit of an upward force, which is actually causing more of a pause, which is not what we want, but it proves that this is working. So, -1. -10. Is it working, or am I imagining things? I think it's working. We can be sure by just putting a really high value in there. Should just fly. Perfect. Yeah, so theoretically you could just, like, if you needed things to speed up, you could just up this value and have the blocks you select go by faster as a way to scale difficulty. Huh. You could totally do that. So I think we'll keep this as a mutable value. Not in the editor necessarily, but somewhere. Because that's almost too good to be true. Alright, so what if we bring the delay down to 1 with that? Do we have no stacking now? Like, just none? Yes, but they're too fast. So why don't we go 500? Do it that way. That is pretty much the visual I was looking for. Nice. Very nice. Okay, so the only way I could make that a little bit better is I want a little bit of jitter in the placement location. So alright, so what we're going to do is say we're going to add in a float here, and we're going to call it, well, first of all, I'm going to rename this one. We're just going to call that the transform, because it is the transform of this object, which means I don't think we actually need to call it like that, but I'm not going to mess with that because I don't want that to be the reason something goes horribly wrong. So this is now going to be spawn position. Okay, and that's going to equal transform dot transform. Or, screw it. Let's just try it, because this would be replaced. This variable would be replaced with spawn position. Okay, and then this would theoretically go away, and we say float spawn position equals. Oh, it's not a float, is it? No, that's not a float. It should be a vector 2. Vector 2 spawn position equals it's going to be new vector 2 and this dot transform dot position? Poison. This dot transform dot position dot x plus random dot next, and it's going to be anywhere between -2 and 2, and then this dot transform dot position dot y. All right, let's see how it likes that. Does not contain definition for transform. Okay, yeah, so we'll go ahead and that. And then we knock these down like that. And then it's happy. Okay, so it should be randomizing plus or minus 2 the actual spawn location. And I'm actually going to cut that and put it right under the random. Okay. So, is it randomly placing those now? They should be just jostling side to side a little bit. Ooh, crashed while trying to do it. Okay. Variable transform of object... Oh, did I not finish the job? Spawn position. So what's your problem? The variable transform of object spawn has not been assigned. Oh, because I removed it and put it back again. Right? Is that right? Block spawner. Indeed. It's your own transform. Sorry about that. It's working! Yes! Why do things just keep working? It feels like something's about to go horribly wrong. Yeah, so it's given them a little bit of jitter where they get placed. Nice. Very nice. Wow. I can't believe how well this is working out. Well, it looks like 2 was just about the right amount, doesn't it? I think we are going to... I'm going to narrow this just the littlest amount, like that. I think it'll feel a little more centered that way. I really like the way this feels. Okay. And then let's take a look at what it actually... Oh, hey, Rose. Welcome back. Let's take a look at what it actually looks like when I zoom in. Okay. And that is what the game actually looks like. I mean, it's not what it actually looks like, but that's the perspective. So I can just pull one of those out and put it in position. can just... It's actually working. That is crazy. I'm so excited about this. I think this game could actually be fun. I mean, it's not anything yet, but these are the building blocks, so to speak. And now that and obviously, you know, the more I pull in, this list of cloned objects grows on the left. So there definitely needs to be some way to limit it. But it's certainly nice that they get set to a much easier to deal with physics mode after you pick them up. And so then, you know, with adding ramps and things like that, yeah. Wow, I'm pretty excited about that. Okay, give me just 1 second. What'd you guys get for food? I want to know when I get back. I'm curious. Be right back. Be right back. Jack in the Box sounds very good. Well, I hope you're enjoying that. I think we're going to be getting Chipotle here after the stream is over. Okay, so point is, this works. As hard as it is to believe. Alright, so what I want to play around with for the last half hour is, is there any way... You never been to Chipotle before. It's pretty good. Yes, please. It's pretty good food. Yeah, so since I only have a half hour left, I don't want to jump down too big of a rabbit hole. This would have been a good place to stop, but I have some more time, so I'm not going to go yet. So I'm just trying to think what I could mess with next. The randomized rotations and placements just do so much to make that look more interesting. And you never see them disappear. The destroyer is far enough down. Yeah, I mean, Chipotle's not like real Mexican food, but it's good fast food. Like it's really good fast food. I mean, real Mexican food is always going to be like, you know, better, but it's definitely worth trying if you get the chance. I've had Qdoba also, so if you've had that, they're pretty close in quality. I would say Chipotle is a little bit better, but it's mostly because I like how greasy their chicken is. You like Moe's for fast food Mexican? I've never had that before. What are they? Just kind of standard Mexican food? What do they have? Okay, so let's just, as a test, we'll tag this golden. And we'll tag the red one as a jumper. And blue will be climbers. And purple will be flippers. So let's see. This is how I'm going to spend the last half hour. I'm going to play with this tool. Like we're gonna see how this works. So they specialize in burritos. Oh, nice. So kind of like a Chipotle or a Qdoba. Same kind of idea. Is it like make your own in the like, or not make your own, but like, you know, like hover over the person that's making your food as you move through the line. The Subway model that I'm sure fast food cooks everywhere are thrilled has become the norm. Subway style, right on. Okay. So what I want to see here is, so that'll be something that'll turn it around. Those are the climbable walls. Oh, I just immediately revealed a problem to myself. I need to be able to get rid of them again. Like if I drop it in here, I would like it to continue falling as like a disposal. So that's on the list, but I'm not going to dive into that right now. But let's, like I said, so we'll take one golden. We need a bunch of greens. I want to have a purple and a red. Give me some more greens. And I think the way that pressure will be applied to you in the game is it won't be able to stay on a platform forever. Like, that'll slowly degrade and then disappear. And I think we'll actually have it fade out or blink at the end, like a donut block. I feel like a fade would be kind of visually confusing. Maybe it blinks and, like, as it blinks, it comes back less opaque. That could work. Alright, so what I think we want to do here is we want to build ourselves like a little ground. Blink would be better. Yeah, I agree with you. Alright. So what this should do, we can get some more blues because those were the climbing blocks. So this is the very beginning of using it the way it's actually designed. We're going to try and catch them over here. Oh, shit. Well, that was a mistake. I can't even... Can I spawn him back again? Or did I just totally fuck that up? Yes. To answer your question, well predicted, yes. But that's okay. So I think it would be a good idea to add... Yeah, exactly as predicted, away it goes. What I was trying to do was make a bucket, but I wasn't thinking that I forgot that was the block that was actually trapping my guy in place. The randomizer seems to be fairly satisfying. Like, it works pretty well. I don't know if I want to, like, weight the values. I might want to do that. Okay. You can keep adding to the weight, or the length of this. And then I'm going to grab some blues. I think the yellow was golden, so that would increase the jump and the speed. So, like, if I took that out and then dropped that in place, it speeds up over that block. And if I had more yellows in there, it should do that more. And then if I put a blue here... Oh, I just saw another one go by. Alright, I'm going to take a couple of them. Okay, we're going to make a little lift like that. And then hopefully he'll land back inside the thing. Let's see how that goes. I think he's supposed to jump back to the left again. I don't remember if I did that. Oh! Okay, so there's a problem. It's not turning, but it's also not climbing. Is the climb force not enough? Blue is marked as climber, so if we go into the auto run script, yeah, if it touches a climber, alright, so let's see if this works. Just to make sure it's correctly recognizing. It seems like it is because it's not rotating the face. Because I don't think it would actually... Ooh, it sounds like somebody's playing with the music. Yeah, it seems like it's registering it, because otherwise it should have flipped. So I gotta think that the force is just not strong enough. Or the rigid body isn't assigned? Ooh. This is interesting. I'm digging this. This is cool. Yeah, rigid body, purple platform, so it's connected to you. This is the first music video recorded in space. Oh, right on. Let me see. Should be over here. Oh, cool. I'm blanking on his name right now. Chris Hadfield? Is that who that is? Okay. Nailed it. Occasionally I remember a name. I'm getting better about that, honestly. So, I have a feeling that the climbing force just isn't high enough. Do I have a climb speed settable? I do, yeah. So we just need to up the climb speed. Alright, we've got the right things selected that we can now screw around with the way he's moving. So we're going to do this one more time. We'll need a purple. I'll take as many greens and blues as I can get. I don't want too many of the others. More blue. Okay, so let's just take that and test to see if our blue actually makes him climb. That should make you climb. I hope you do. He still didn't climb. Why aren't you climbing? Oh, because I didn't change the speed. Is he no longer selected? Well, we can do something about that. Purple platform. There you are. Alright, let's up that climb speed. How about 2? That did it. So I guess he's not doing... I think I had it set up with a wall jump at the end of a climb, and I decided... What would stop him from falling off if he did climb? Nothing. Nothing. I'm just testing pieces. So... Can you hear me, Major Tom? Can you hear me, Major Tom? I think I could stop it. Oh, those shouldn't interact. He's cute. Well, thank you. The cube is originally going to be eventually going to be replaced with Tuft, the little furry character that I made. This is going to be their game. Alright, so we want to go kind of like that, and then like that, and then like that. And then it should climb. So did we get our statement? At some point we should have... Climber. There it is. Okay. So it did do it. It should have wall jumped off of that green platform. Which means something is not... It's supposed to... What makes it... What are my terms for a wall jump? If not grounded, not climber, and was climber. Yeah, it's supposed to be jumping the other direction after it gets off of there. And it's not, for some reason. What defines grounded? That could have changed. We are grounded if... Oh, just if it's colliding with something. If the foot collider is colliding with something. So that should be fine. Alright, let's test a couple of the other blocks. Not golden, but jumper and flipper are the ones that I really want to check. So a purple and a red. Take again a couple of those. And a purple. So the purple should make him turn around and go back the other way. In theory. Hey, hey! Not too bad. Okay. And then a red should make him jump, unfortunately, to his death. Well, that doesn't help me. Good to know the wall jump's working, I guess. Damn it. Thought I had it. Come on, get in there. Yes. Good news is that did make it jump. I need more room for it to land. Yeah, yeah, I'm juggling, exactly. Oh, no, no, come back! Don't leave me! No! Wow, this wall jump is, an occasionally inconvenient mechanic. Okay, so the blocks work as defined. Except for the climbers, it seems like. And apparently it's possible to kill it? Why aren't you moving? That was weird. Alright, well, let's try the climber and see how it reacts to that. So the flip is failing to happen. When it gets to the top of the climber, it's supposed to turn around and, like, wall jump back the other direction. But it's not doing that. So why isn't it doing that? It was doing it in my test environment. Like, if we go back to the test scene... I mean, this is still a test environment, but in my very first test environment, which is a little more sunshiny... let me get the end point out of there, because that's just going to trigger a game over. I know, right? Thank you. Yeah, I mean, we've made huge progress today. I did a lot, like, between the last time you guys have seen it and now. I've been playing around with it. But yeah, I mean, it's hugely improved. Okay, this one should be a climber, yes. And it was working here. So this guy has the same script on him. Oh, there's a flipper on the ground. Where is it? He needs to make it. So if this runs over to here, climbs the wall, when it gets to the top, it should jump to the left. No, it's not. Okay, well that's good news, because that means that something changed in the script and I've forgotten. So we'll go back. Because it was doing that before. It's good because it's a consistent mistake we can replicate and find the source. Exactly. Exactly. So a good thing to check would be, is this running at all? This little if statement here. And do I have any other... Okay. So... Unity engine. Debug log. Climber jump. And then actually that's all I need. I just need it to scream climber jump at me. So if that happens, then we should be fine. Give me a blue right out of the gate. That would be nice. Thank you. Okay. So... Climber jump! Uh-oh. That's not good. So we got the alert. Which means my code is wrong. Huh? So it's doing this. That is correctly identifying when it leaves a climbing block. It wouldn't be that no flip is active, would it? This should be... Is that backwards? If no flip is less than or equal to 0. Alright, let's see what it says the no flip value is. When it gets to that point. Blue, please. Thank you. Show me what the no flip is. 0. So it's correct. So it should be flipping. But it's not. What else would cause a flip? Is it because of wall touch for some reason? No. Huh. That's a real tough one. I'm really not sure. Thank you for your input, Phoebe. It really helps me think. Okay. I mean, I'm just about to wrap up, so if you're doing it for me, don't worry about it. She's been an absolute nightmare since the dog came home. She's not liking the fact that she's not getting any attention. Let's see here. I think I'm going to have to stew on this one a little bit, because this is a bit of a weird problem. No, you're good, Rose. I appreciate having you here. Oh, it's totally good. I wonder what, why it's not doing that. Super weird. Granted, it wasn't really working properly. Ooh, okay, I just had a whole number of ideas. All right, I'm just going to sign off, and I will dive into those ideas later. So thank you for hanging out. It has been a blast, as always. Ooh, made it to the end of the stream. Had to do some work. Finally time for dinner. Enjoy your dinner, Jakob. Did you want to see the... Or have you gotten to see... Has it been on the screen? Before I shut down, I can at least show you what is working. Here. It drops down, the shapes are given a random rotation, they're spawned randomly, and they're given a slightly random position for where they're dropped from. And then we've got red platforms that make the character jump. And we've got yellow ones that speed them up. And we also have blue ones that they can climb. See? Climbable. Oh no! Unless he's already falling. My script definitely, or my coding needs to be cleaned up for sure. But, yeah, I mean, we've got these pieces actually spawning in the way they're supposed to. Oh yeah, and then there's also the purple one. Where are you? Purple makes the character turn around. So yeah, that's where we're at so far. So it's a lot of progress, but that's gonna be it for me for tonight. So thank you guys for hanging out. Appreciate having you here. Stay safe. I will see you on Saturday, as always. And yeah, that's gonna be it. Was a blast. Thank you, thank you. I will see you guys on the other side. Bye-bye.